Welcome to the Safe Life family. We're the Safety Guys. I'm Landon.
And I'm Kevin.
And we're excited you're joining us on the journey from Safety 101 to Safety Experts. Hello and welcome back.
It's good to be here again.
And we have another fun episode. We decided we're going to do Pop Quiz Part 2.
Sounds good.
Whew. I think last time I got a C. Maybe. There's a lot of crying, I remember. So
I think you probably wet your pants a few times too.
No. So let's jump right in. I think I'm ready. I'm learning, I'm growing. Let's do this.
All right. You're in a fairly big city. You come to a stop sign and you notice there's 4 or 5 people on both sides of you just ready to cross the crosswalk there, but they don't wait for the crosswalk. They come right up to you, and one starts pounding on your window. Two others get in front of you, and the other one's trying to open the doors.
Oh, wow.
And it's on. Possibly crossed the line in the sand already.
What? Yeah, I'm there. I thought crying was over, but apparently that's another option today.
So tell me how you're going to get out of that one.
Wow. I think the advice from last episode is really valuable. Trying to take a pause, take a minute, and think through the situation. But this situation is also one that it doesn't allow for much pausing. You can't just time out these individuals.
It's getting more violent as every second goes by because you're not obeying their commands.
Yeah, I am not. I mean, they're saying open the doors, or what are they saying?
Oh yeah, they want you out of the car.
I'm not coming out of the car. I
gonna roll down your window a little bit to talk to them?
No, not at all. I think I'm gonna try to drive, and I obviously don't want to injure anyone, but you can just slowly but surely keep driving forward, and I hope that there's someone around who can also help out. But if someone else is in the car, I'm asking them, hey, please dial 911. Let's try to get some help here on that level. But yeah, I'm pretending like I can't hear them, but that's not going to work well.
Okay.
But no, I'm not listening to the bad guys.
All right, but you're going to move. You're not going to stay stagnant.
You got to get out of there.
You did really good again. This is the hard part with a lot of people don't realize is a car is probably one of the most wicked weapons if you wanted to use a car as a weapon that there is. And plus you're pretty darn safe in the car. It takes a little special tool to break a window. To do it with your fist. If you have an old car sometime at the junkyard and you want to, make sure you get some gloves on and be safe there too.
Don't do it.
But you'll be quite amazed. That's the way they're built and encased, and it's really hard to just come up and break the window unless you got the right tools. But they're trying to do something that's not right, and you kind of know with their demeanor how aggressive they really are. We were told in one of my trips to Los Angeles, I shouldn't even say it, sorry, but anyway, maybe you can bleep that one out.
Uh-oh.
But there were certain places that we shouldn't go down there when we were doing some police training. And of course, you don't say that to police officers because we got to go see the excitement. We pulled up to a corner where there was a lot of the transient people starting to come with their boxes and stuff on the roads. And this group came up to us, and they were getting very, very violent. I'm not sure what they were going to do because we had 3 men in the car, maybe the money or whatever. But I yelled, I said, I'm leaving. And there was two of them in front of me in the car, and I honked my horn and put my foot on the brake and the gas, and it was starting to, they knew it was coming, and I went. Of course, they jumped out of the way, and we got out of that situation. We called the LAPD, and they said, well, are you okay? And we said, well, yeah, but we got a pretty good description. And they just like, you're okay, go back to your hotel. And they just must have a lot of problems down there that they just didn't want to deal with that deal. But the car, you have to understand, is quite the weapon to use if they cross the line in the sand and you know that your life is in danger. But you gotta put that in your mindset, whether where you're going and where you're at, and just do that.
I think, whether it's a weapon or a fort, both of those I think work pretty well for that. But you can get out of there.
Yeah.
And sure, that feels like something straight out of a YouTube video, but get out of there, get safe,
Yeah.
and don't listen to the bad guy. So what do you think? Is that a B, or did I finally get an A?
I liked it. You got out of there. You didn't stay stagnant and let them take your whole car and take you, and who knows what they'd do.
My first A on a pop quiz. This is good.
Next one's a little harder.
Oh.
You're driving down a road and you notice somebody's following you, but there's not a whole lot of people around right now. I mean, there's cars coming and going, not like you're in that city we just talked about. But motorcycle comes up right next to you, and you look over and you look at them, and the guy that's on the motorcycle just stares at you for a minute, but staying in the oncoming lane of traffic next to you, going the same direction both of you are. And then he just gives you kind of the willies, and then he pulls up a little bit further and takes out something from his pocket and throws it on your front window, which happens to be eggs. And then he just takes off. But the eggs are on your windshield.
I'm mad.
Okay. Tell me what you're gonna do.
I'm not crying this time. I'm frustrated. I'm also a bit of a perfectionist. I want those eggs off my window. So I'm one of those, goodness, I can't even think of windshield washing fluid, but I'm wiping those eggs off, or I'm pulling over and wiping them off.
Okay.
And I'm just so frustrated, this knuckleheaded motorcycle driver.
What you did, what everybody else does. There's might be a little bit of a problem though. Pulling over right then and there to try to wipe them off. If you guys are gonna have to try this at home. If you have an extra egg and you just want to, and you have a car wash thing ready to get it, but you throw the egg on the window and then you use your fluid, it foams a bit. Eggs or put water in eggs while you just to see, and it has a foaming agent. I don't even know how it works. Okay. But this motorcycle guy knows that it has a foaming agent. So what generally happens is then the car, after you do the windshield wiper fluid, then let's just say, then dang it, I got to stop the car and I got to get out of the car to go wipe the stuff off. And then there's a nice guy that just happens to stop off behind you and walks up and says, "Well, can I help you, sir or ma'am?" And most of the time, the man probably said, "No, get in your car and get out of here. I'll get this stupid egg, unless you can go catch that idiot on the motorcycle up there and hold him for me." But most of the females, I'm sure this is a true story that happened in our country. Said, "Yeah, come on, it'd be awesome if you could help me out." Well, it was a team setup, and of course it wasn't a happy ending for a few of them. But the thing that you want to do there, that you, if there's a way you can see out of a little bit of the window, you go again to somewhere where it's the gas station. There's a lot of people, and you get out and you wash your windows. And then whoever's behind you, they're going to follow you there. But then it's not. They're not going to get out the gas station. Nobody does that anymore. That's the old days where they'd run out of the thing and fill your car up and wash your windows. But that's what you've got to realize is you don't stop anywhere where something, if it goes wrong, you're out in the desert and nobody can help. You can't yell for help, and even if you do, no one's going to hear you.
So maybe I'm in a rural area with no car, and I'm even more frustrated.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't win that one.
Well, and I always tease people on that one, because when I give the scenario once in a while, they don't even think as the car as the weapon. And I'm not, make sure you understand, I am not saying to do this, but I've thought about the scenario with the poor victims that didn't fare so well. But here you have a 3,000-pound automobile and you have a little motorcycle next to you being stupid. Well, I don't know what would be wrong with giving them a little just a tiny bit to say, "Hey, don't get whatever you're getting out of yours. Get out of here." And those motorcycle guys, I mean, it'd take someone pretty dumb to fight the car, because the car is going to win. But that's if you see he's taken out something to actually do something to you. But again, you use that as a weapon, but you got to have a lot of patience and understand that that can get you in a lot of trouble too. If it's just somebody passing you and you get thinking that they're going to do something to you.
Okay. Well, this trend of being aware, going places that are well lit with people, with friends, I think we should rename our podcast. Maybe that's definitely the summary that I think is pretty consistent for anybody. So I don't know. I don't think I went from a high to a low, an A and probably a D, or maybe I failed that one.
Well, if you just have to understand, there was a reason why somebody does something to you that's going to get you angry. Well, and speaking of angry, how about road rage?
Oh no, I don't know.
You're driving down and you think you did everything perfect. This was the funnest one. I had a call like this, and we actually had some people with cameras on their car, and you literally did everything. You stopped at stoplights, right? You didn't speed, and you get to a certain point in a big old jacked up truck. The guy gets out of his car and he just comes and starts pounding on your hood of your car, just pounding and screaming, "I'm going to kill you.
Oh,
I
goodness.
can't believe you cut me off." And you're behind him. Okay. So all of a sudden it's that, what did you just say? How could I cut you off when I've been behind this whole time? But he total road rage. And then he, from the hood, he starts to come up and pounds on your side window. And by this time you have a car behind you. And of course you didn't follow the safety rule that I'll talk about in just a second, but I just want to know what you're going to do.
Is crying an option?
Again, yeah. Like what?
Wow, I think I'm gonna stay in the fort. I just from what we learned earlier, it's safe. It's safe there, and I think a lot of the time too, if someone is that mad at something, it's okay to let them stay mad away from you where they can't get you. I know I've seen those. You come at me with your fist balled, and I'll put my dukes up just as quick. But that doesn't seem like it's going to end well in any way, shape, or form. But I'm in my car, and I'm probably saying something along the lines of "So sorry, sir," or "So sorry, ma'am," and I'm not saying anything, and maybe even calling the authorities again.
Yeah, not bad. Do you think he can break the window though with his rage? And let's just say he goes back and gets a tire iron out of his pickup truck now.
Well, now
this is actually what I'm telling you, this true story of how the events happen. But you've already called for help. Dispatch did not tell you that just they're on their way. So now he's got a tire iron and he's coming to your window.
If he's got a weapon and he's coming for me, that changes things. I'm okay if somebody's going to just, pound on the hood of my car and yelling at me. I can stay in the fort, but tire iron can break a window.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we got to change things up. And if his truck's in front of me, I may start trying to drive and hope. I don't think, what I drive a small car, so that may not be pushing the truck, but I think at that point, that's probably where I'm going to go. I was going to say, I got to try to get out of here.
Very good. It's going to be a little bit difficult, but the thing that I always tell people with road rage is sometimes you are going to be, the cause of somebody that can't control their temper and you do something that's just accidental. But the number one thing is to look at ways to calm the situation down first. With this guy, I'm not sure if there was ever a way, because the video cameras on the car, I mean, this guy was just Looney Tune.
He was mad.
He wasn't going to calm down, but they were trying to do that verbally. But at that time, we need to have, there's some attention of people, but you get on your horn. Mm-hmm. You drown them out, and that's going to make them a little bit madder, but it didn't matter with this guy. And then the person in the car actually stayed, didn't try to get out of that. They stayed stagnant, and the guy just smashed the windows and was trying to pull him out. The guy was hanging onto the steering wheel. Finally, there was two John Wayne guys that came up and grabbed the crazy guy and held him until the police got there. But I'm not saying the guy did anything wrong, because he tried to calm him down, but there's times that you got to go to the next level. And if you're not, this is what I was going to talk about, the safety parking behind somebody. If you can't see their bumper and the bumper to the road, you've parked too close. Mm-hmm. If you have that much space, you can quickly turn and get out if there's an emergency. If you notice, most police officers, they don't pull up right behind you. They always leave room to pull out in case they get an emergency call. But that's another really good safety tip, is don't get boxed in to where you're going to have to start bashing both cars to get your car out of a situation if your life depended on it.
I'm still kind of thinking about our second situation, and it's inconvenient to have to sometimes do these tips. Mm-hmm. Drive to a place that's well lit before you clean your windshield off. Mm-hmm. I'm in a hurry, right? I'm trying to get home. I'm tired. Doing the driving around the neighborhood or walking around the neighborhood, doing that box U-turn or neighborhood U-turn. All of those things might seem inconvenient or take a little bit extra time, but I think in the end it's worth it.
It really is. In one of our earliest podcasts, I told you that if you follow some safety rules, you're 85 to 100% less likely to become a victim. And those are those little things. It takes a little bit of effort, but it sure makes the percentage of being harmed a whole lot less.
Go way, way down.
Yep.
And even parking or stopping, giving yourself a little bit more space. Yeah, that might take a little extra time and energy, but it can pay off. It can make a big difference.
Yeah. And my last one, you'll get this one real easy, but you're sent to the store. We're going to probably have to say it's a big parking lot, maybe bigger city. And if you notice in some of the bigger shopping malls, let's just say grocery store, you're going to go get some bread and milk and eggs for the next day. But look for the parking under lights. Lights are always your friend. And again, if you think somebody in the store, for whatever reason, you're kind of really on your 007, I'm not letting nobody get me kind of thing, and you think somebody's following you, go and ask somebody to walk you out to the car, and then it's well lit. Sometimes it's even good not to get into the most crowded kind of car spot, because there's a lot of hiding spots. If you're out there say you're 3 cars away from somebody, you can kind of even walk around your car to see if somebody isn't bending down on the other side of your car until you open your car door.
Yeah.
But light is your friend too.
Okay. Excellent advice. What do you think? What's your wisdom minute?
Oh my goodness. As hard as it is, strive to tell the truth on the times that it's difficult. You'll build a reputation that's very honorable.
That's good advice.
Thanks.
And what challenge should we live this week? Maybe look for the lights?
Yeah, let's just say look, unless you're dying. Well, I guess that'd be a good thing to do too. But lights are your friend. Okay. Light is good. Light is good. And I guess that could be taken several different ways.
I like it. Well, thanks for joining us today. Have a wonderful, safe week.
See ya.
If you feel like we helped guide you in your journey to a safer life or home,
or if you just think we're awesome,
please follow us for more. After all, who doesn't like a thumbs up or a subscribe?